Hey, good morning. Ohayou gozaimasu. This is Gray from Wakazashi's Tea House over in Japan. How you doing? Are you good? Are you Genki? I don't know how long you're going to stay Genki when you listen to my review. It depends what you feel about Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, the current run by Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. mainly, although they have had quite a few different artists on it so far. We're up to issue 26, which came out on Wednesday, May 31st, 2023. It's priced at $4.99, so it's $1 more than usual, but for that you do get a few more pages for your buck. So, is this issue any good? And yeah, is it worth buying? Okay, now I've got a long story summary with this. I want to warn you, there will be spoilers in that. I'm going to go through the whole issue and show the issue and talk about it, give my thoughts, give a story summary. But I'll keep this opening section spoiler free. But I don't know about you, if you've got any interest in the comics industry or buying comics, you must have heard by now. You must have heard who this big character, this big death in this issue, this landmark issue, they've been calling it, this is Marvel, not me, they were calling it the most shocking issue in 50 years, basically saying, since Gwen Stacy and what happened to her, again, no spoilers, but that was 50 years ago. Yeah, they've been building this up, 26 issues in, and the character that dies is on this cover here. I'm not going to say who it is, I'm going to leave that for the story summary, but I tell you what, it just feels like a huge build up to nothing, like, what do you call it? It's not even bursting a balloon, it's like the air slowly going out of a balloon, like a, and that's it. This is how this issue feels to me. It's got very mixed art by John Romita Jr. Sometimes it's okay if you like his style. I know a lot of people don't. Sometimes it's kind of not, it's mean to say, but kind of laughably bad. Not like terribly, terribly bad, but some of the expressions, because he does lots of faces, lots of close-ups. Sometimes the eyes are a bit like, oh, what's going on there? But yeah. So I'm going to give, as I say, this is a bit of a stream of consciousness, putting my thoughts together. Now, I did drop a comment on somebody else's review. Someone was being very positive about this issue. I mean, I'm not going to name their names, but they have been bigging up this whole run, but they generally don't really talk about what it is that's good, what it is they like about it. They just say, oh, this is really good. And anyway, this is what I said. I read Amazing Spider-Man 26. This is last night my time. It's the next day here. But I found it was a drawn-out, disappointing mess of a comic book. The big death and the reaction was completely unearned. Now this is important. It's unearned. Why is this particular character's death being compared with the original Gwen Stacy, sorry, spoilers, shocking demise, back in issue 121, 50 years ago? It's completely shoehorned into this stretched out, boring story arc. Where was the setup, apart from a few very brief random scenes? You only see this character, not even in a few issues, a few panels here and there in 26 issues. Where was the story development to make this moment mean something? Why is this character suddenly so important to Peter? Well, that's what they're trying to play up, that's what they're trying to show with this issue. So that was my my kind of not a scathing comment, but a critical comment of a very positive review for this issue. Now, on the review site, the shill review site, but not all shills are on there, Comic Book Roundup, where most of the regular reviewers, the critic reviewers as they call them, give like 8, 9s and 10s, like they're going out of business. Hey, throw a 9, throw a 10, here's another 10, why not? Every comic's perfect. This surprised me. This issue, Amazing Spider-Man 26, it gets an average critic score of 5.1 out of 10. That is rare. And the first review, let's have a look. Critics reviews, there's a 7.5, which is, pretty positive. And then you got 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, and 2.4 out of 10 somebody gave it. Wow. Switch over to the user reviews. The critics are only 7. There's 30 user reviews. The first one is a 4 out of 10. Then we get a few 9s and 8s, and then basically the majority are between 6 and 4. So 6 out of 10, 4, 4, going down to 3, 3, 2. 2, 1. I mean, just one comment here, which is at random. I won't say the name, but they've just put, this is spiteful rage bait of a climax with no payoff or character growth. Just what I was saying about the character growth, 0. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I could keep waffling all day, but Disappointed. It's not a horrible issue, it's not terrible, but it just feels like it's come out of nowhere. It's a huge bait and switch. The character that they were bigging up, they were going to kill off in this, the character that most people were expecting, well, there were 2 or 3 characters. Guess what? Again, no spoilers from me. Do they do it? Do they have the balls to put you to go through with it? You'll have to watch my story summary to find out. Okay, so as always, thanks for watching this far, and please keep watching. Warning for spoilers, yeah, because I'm going to go through the whole story. Please keep watching. Here we go. Let me start with a recap, and I'm never quite sure who writes these. Is it Nick Lowe, the editor, or is it Zeb Wells? I think it's probably Nick Lowe, isn't it? Anyway, here we go. A year and a half ago, feels like 5, Peter Parker's life was uprooted by the mad mathematician Rabin, aka the Emissary. You got to be careful of those mad mathematicians, haven't you? Throwing numbers at you. Rabin sent Peter and his then girlfriend, Mary Jane, to another dimension. While Peter was able to escape, MJ was left behind. Now what they don't say there is MJ basically forced Peter, pushed him through this portal, and she made him escape. She made that choice. He's back against the wall, and with no time to lose, Peter was forced to work with Norman Osborn and steal from friends and allies like the Fantastic Four, burning bridges in the process. While Peter did manage to rescue MJ, it came with a price. What had only been a blur of days for Peter had been several years, actually 4, as they said, for MJ. In that time, she and the mysterious and rather creepy Paul took in 2 orphans and built a life and family together. In the time since, Peter has gotten his life back on track. He took a job at the new Oscorp with the reformed, Norman Osborn. Slowly but surely, he's begun to mend his personal relationships and build new friendships, like with Oscorp's newest intern, emphasis on newest, Kamala Khan. But nothing good in Peter's life can last. Did you hear that? This is the recap, and this is editorial saying this. Nothing good in Peter's life can last. And Rabin has returned to make sure of that. The issue opens with a brief flashback. It's 9 months ago, and we have Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, having an interview for a job at Oscorp. She left her name off her resume, by the way. Great start. What an impression to make. And when she's asked why do you want to work for Norman Osborn, she says, well, I'm very interested, in quotes, what he's doing here, and I won't take no for an answer. She also ends this interview by saying, I'll do whatever it takes. No comment on that. Just let me comment here that we're up to issue 26 of Zeb Wells' run, and Kamala Khan's been in maybe 10, 15 panels, not issues, maybe panels of the 26 issues. Okay, now we're in New York, it's present day, and Rabin or the Emissary or God knows what it is, he's here, Peter. Where are the kids? They're with Paul. And we see the Gold Goblin, Norman Osborn, coming to help. And then, surprisingly, in the bottom panel here, Miss Marvel jumps in. I'm here too, she says. And look at Peter's reaction on the next page. Spider-Man says, Miss Marvel? ? He's very surprised to see her. Now Rabin, who is the Emissary, we thought he was dead, he's not dead. Here he is. He said he's going to be reborn as the God of Death. But basically what he's after is Mary Jane. I can't remember the details why, but he keeps calling her the Scarlet Woman, and with her death he will become a god and rule in this earth, in this universe. Spider-Man threatens Rabin he's going to regret coming back to his city, and then we see a weird kind of transformation take place with Rabin. He looks like, I don't know, what does he look like here? A zombie version? A mummified version of Rabin. So he goes for Mary Jane again, Spider-Man saves her. Then we've got Norman Osborn, Gold Goblin flying in, knocking Rabin down. And then we see Miss Marvel and her very interesting, shall we say, powers. Not at all like Reed Richards from Fantastic Four, but she stretches her stretchy arm and punches him and knocks him flying into a car. Are 3 superheroes against 1 going to be enough? It looks like they are, until we change scenes to what appears to be Central Park. I'm guessing here because I'm from the UK, I don't know. And there's a weird symbol on a ground, a patch of grass, which suddenly breaks open, and out of it emerges something very strange. A glyph dragon, a strange Mexican or no, Mayan kaiju or something. It's saying, oh, how I hunger for death. Well, I think that's Rabin. The glyph dragon bursts out of the ground and comes flying in to attack them. Holy crap, says Miss Marvel. Somebody should probably deal with that. That's a good idea. Norman Osborn, Gold Goblin, goes for it. And then we see Rabin again, the emissary, this weird, skeletal god. He sees Mary Jane and he's after her. Your family doesn't belong in this world, not even your precious Paul. Did he tell you where he comes from? Who he comes from? Then we get a flashback to something we haven't seen before. We're learning this for the first time here. Peter comes bursting into Mary Jane and Paul's apartment, demanding that Paul reveal his true identity because, guess what? His real name is not Paul. His real name is Paul Jeremiah Rabin. Rabin! Is he Rabin's son? Brother? It's not clear yet. And Peter's furious. He's telling Mary Jane, look, he's the emissary of his world. He's a murderer. He's a monster. This is the bad guy. And then Paul punches Peter, getting revenge for... I can't remember what issue it was where Peter punched Paul. Wow. Paul tells Peter that the emissary was my father. I trusted him. I didn't know what his plans were. When I saw what he'd done, though, I put an end to him with my own hands. And then I followed MJ to this universe, a place where I was never born. That's why I like it here. MJ reveals that she knew this. It was only Peter who didn't know. I know everything about him. I've seen his guilt, his pain. I know that it's part of what makes him a good man. So she's saying Paul's guilt and Paul's pain and Paul's dodgy past makes him a good man. Okay. Back to New York, present. Spidey laughs off the threat of Rabin's big reveal. We know who Paul is. But then Rabin reminds them Paul's not the only thing that comes from an emissary's line. He talks about MJ and Paul accepting his bindings. Then he calls them chains that you hold close to your heart. You can guess what's going to happen here, can't you? Switch scenes to the apartment where Paul lives with the children, the mysterious children. They look strangely like Mary Jane and young Peter. Daddy, I can hear the scribble man. I tell you, I'm sick of that stupid term, scribble man. You know, how frightening does that sound? But anyway, I feel funny, Daddy. And then the children disappear. They fade out. They were just imaginary or something, it appears, or Rabin sent them back to the dimension they were found. Here we see MJ realizing what he's done. Rabin, I'm gonna kill you, she says. And then, what's happening here? MJ blasts him with some kind of energy blast. It appears she has powers now. Whoa, that was awesome, says Kamala Khan. We got Peter trying to talk reasonably to her. Look, remember, MJ, you're the one he wants. Rabin is mine. She's understandably furious. You know, he's just disappeared those children that she's grown close to over the last 4 years. All she can think about is getting revenge, is going after him. MJ, you got to be smart about this. And then we get in the background. You sure about that, Spider-Man? Why start now? It's the Fantastic Four, here to help and hopefully save the day. Peter asks him to go and take care of the weird glyph dragon. And Peter, Miss Marvel and MJ are going to hopefully escape from Rabin. But Peter's turned his back for a second. MJ's gone. She's after Rabin by herself. She's not thinking straight. She tries to use his powers again, but instead, what happens here? Rabin laughs off the symbols, saying they add up to healing light. You have an unreliable weapon. All I need is the blade of decay. He's got MJ round her throat. Is he going to stab her here? Hey! Just in time, Miss Marvel grabs his arm, punches him in the face. We don't even see what happens. All we see in the background on the third panel is Rabin's legs sticking out from a car. She looks like she knocked him flying. I didn't realise how powerful Miss Marvel was. And I'm not being sarcastic here. I don't really know the character. I've never read her comic book. I've seen one episode of that awful, well, not even awful, that teenage Disney Marvel show. Again, we have Spider-Man here trying to talk sense into Mary Jane. It's Peter talking to, the woman he loves. Remember, MJ, if he gets you, he becomes a god. He floods this world with blood, remember? And she's like, but... Then he also reminds her that you didn't give me a choice when the shoe was on the other foot. She calms down. Miss Marvel takes her and they go off. Spider-Man tells Miss Marvel to, for God's sake, keep her safe. Then we have Spidey confronting Rabin again. Rabin is teasing. He's teasing Spider-Man. He says, It's already happened, Spider-Man. I can see the future. The Red Woman was pierced. She will be pierced. She is pierced by my blade. She's going to be dying in your arms. I've seen it. That's not going to happen, says Spider-Man, and he's about to whack him with, I think it's a parking meter. There are coins flying everywhere. And as he goes for the, hopefully, killing blow, I thought at one point here he'd split Rabin in two, but no, it's Rabin messing around with space and time, as he says, "Space and time open before me." He's gone. Mary Jane! While all this has been going on, Reed Richards has figured out that symbols play a huge part in this weird glyph dragon. Symbols are the secret, and he's worked out a symbol, hopefully, to knock it out, to destroy it. He sends Johnny the Human Torch to do so. Johnny burns the symbol into the dragon's head and it says, "Club." There we go. I think that means it's dying or it's down. "Watch out behind you, MJ," and then Rabin's there. He just misses her. Miss Marvel knocks MJ out of the way in time. "Back off!" And there's that huge punch again. Thud. Hopefully she's knocked him back through the portal. Kamala Khan tells MJ to run. "Move! I promised your boyfriend." "Spider-Man is not my boyfriend." "Yeah, we know. We know." Now Miss Marvel has a great idea to split up because she knows. I just don't get this. I think she's splitting up to hopefully take on Rabin by herself, but Rabin is going only for MJ, and surely, Rabin will appear wherever MJ is. So by splitting up, she's leaving MJ on her own. "Don't start running, promise me," says Miss Marvel, and runs away. Run away! Then we see somebody running down an alley. It looks like MJ, and Rabin appears through a portal. Alone again, sacrifice. He's confronting her, he's in front of her. "That's fine with me," says MJ, "let's do this." "Space and time lay before me. I am behind you and it's already done." We get a weird sound effect, slitch. And then, this is a reveal. Oh my god. Rabin just puts his blade through Mary Jane's back, through her stomach. He stabbed her. Surely it's a killing blow. "The sacrifice is made. The ceremony is complete." "No!" screams Peter and comes diving in, knocks Rabin down. "MJ! Oh my god! MJ!" We see Rabin ready to take on the godhood of Wyep. "I am the god. I am the scab and the bone." The scab? Ooh. "The world is mine to slaughter." But there are voices saying, "Desecrator, blasphemous priest." "No, I'm your loyal servant. I brought you the Scarlet Woman." "Liar." And then, don't know what really happens, but Rabin, he seems to dissolve, and we see a skull, the silhouette of a black skull, screaming, dying in pain, disappearing, fading out, or going back to wherever he came from. "Mary Jane, please." "Peter? Who is that?" Well, it's been Mary Jane until now, and then we look down and suddenly, it's Miss Marvel. She takes off her mask, which we couldn't see because I just don't know. I don't know the character. I didn't know she had this power. Can she shapeshift? Can she change her appearance to look like anybody? Obviously she can, because that's how they did this. That's how they set it up. She can even hide a mask. I mean, what's the point of having that little Zorro mask on anyway? That really, really conceals your identity, but getting distracted. Peter finally realises it's Kamala who took the blade. Kamala who took the killing blow. "Please stay with me," says Peter. And then we get John Romita Jr.'s, I'm usually pretty positive about his art. I'm very, very fair, you know what I'm like if you've been watching my reviews until now, but this bottom panel here, these 3 panels where Kamala is exiting this world, look at that. I don't know. It kind of made me laugh, and I feel mean for laughing, but what is going on with those eyes going a bit cross-eyed and as they go up into the top of her head? She's out, she's gone, she's dead. But come on, this is Marvel. How long will it last? 2 weeks and she'll be back. 3 weeks, a month if we're lucky. Don't forget, there's a huge, in quotes, huge movie coming out with her in it in a few months' time in the fall, in autumn. So yeah, I'm sure she'll be back before then. And I reckon this has all been a setup to basically change her powers. I was talking to Jim from Weird Science Comics about this, and he was saying, it was his theory that what they're going to do is they're going to get rid of her weird, stupid powers, resurrect her via the X-Men, via Krakoa, and then she'll be a mutant to line up with the TV series. So this has all been set up. It's all been set up for the TV series to make Kamala Khan a mutant. I don't know. I don't even care. But this huge reaction by everybody. Yeah, it's terrible to see anybody killed, but they're trying to make it like she's a crucial character in Spider-Man's life. You know, she's hardly been in the story for 26 issues. It's a bait and switch. Simple as that, isn't it? It's a bait and switch. They had that reveal of that panel where you see it's Mary Jane being stabbed. You know, if they'd revealed that, it would have gone crazy. People would have been like, oh, you know, they did it. They did it as just as we thought. They were going to kill MJ. They've killed her. But no, it was secretly Kamala Khan in disguise. And that's it, really. Ends with a bit of a whimper rather than a bang. And we see Paul. He tells MJ the kids are gone. And what does she do? She gives him a hug. And that's the end of issue 26. And then I want to show this. At last, Marvel Comics presents the previously classified cover and a solicit for Fallen Friend, The Death of Miss Marvel, issue 1. The Marvel Universe mourns Kamala Khan. And then please look down at the very bottom of the page here. It says, the heart of the Marvel Universe has stopped beating. I didn't know she was the heart of the Marvel Universe, did you? So there you have it. That was it. That was this big built-up issue for 26 issues. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Please let me know in the comments. You know, I don't mind. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why this was so good, why it was earned, why the setup has been there in this ridiculously fragmented, broken, chaotic run of Spider-Man. You know, I mentioned before, random tie-ins, random events that mean nothing, change of artists, change of stories. Hey, sometimes it's not even about Spider-Man. That's how it feels. But anyway, here is the reveal for 27, issue 27, the next issue. I'm very happy to see we've got Doc Ock on the cover there, looking pretty cool. But look closely at his glasses, look at the reflection there. You've got Spidey and Felicia, Black Cat, here she is. So they're going to be focusing on their relationship, I think, from going forward from here. Now, I've just had a quick look on the really good comic book review site that I recommend called leagueofcomicgeeks.com. Check that out. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to check how many variant covers there were for this, because I don't care. I'm not even going to bother showing them any, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going down still. 15, 16, 17, 18. There's almost 20 variant covers. How much money, are they trying to grab and make here? How many people are going to buy more than, 2 or 3 different covers just to get these? I mean, they are good. There's some fantastic covers there, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's all about the money and very, very little about the story, isn't it? And by the way, just before I finish, on this review site, I've not gone through people's reviews yet, but it gives like how many people liked it out of how many people, pulled this issue or put it as read, marked it, they've read this. Out of 186 people who have registered that they've read it or they've pulled this issue, 186, 39 liked it. So that's 21%. So 20% of the people who read this said they liked it. Okay. So that's it. I think that's it for my very long-winded review. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know what you think and drop a comment. I will reply to the comments, even the angry ones. I don't mind. And I hope to see you in a future video. This is Gray from Wakazashi's Tea House saying, Matane.